Wagwan beautiful people, I am 𝐒𝐿𝐵. Welcome back to my channel. I know y'all are just ready to get into this tutorial. So the hair that we'll be using for our braids is from OMG Her Hair, and this is their Burmese curly bulk hair. I got it in 24 inches and I got 4 bundles, and we're gonna use 3.5 packs. Yes, if you want that hair to be full and curly and voluminous, 3.5 is the way to go. So I had my hair chopped. We did kind of a big chop because my hair was colored previously, as y'all know, and the ends were dead. They were absolutely dead. So we're going on this healthy hair journey. I know my hair looks kind of straight, but that's what happens when you had a whole year of straightening your hair. I don't have any heat damage right now, but the hair just is straight. I don't know, child. But anyways, so we're gonna do our parting for this style. So I always part my front section first to put it away, and this is just basically how I map my braids. I do the same thing for every single style. So we're just gonna put away the front, and then we're gonna work with the back first, and then we work our way up. So now I have to have my 360 mirror. I have this in my Amazon storefront. It has saved my life so many times, and it makes your braids look so professional because you can actually see where you're parting. Absolutely a great thing to have if you're gonna start doing your own braids. Now we're gonna go in with a new braiding gel. I saw this braiding gel on TikTok and it was the ingredients list for me. Look how short that is. It's mostly all natural ingredients and it doesn't have any fragrance or weird smell. And then we're gonna go in with some hair food because even though we're doing a protective style, you don't want your hair to break off. Especially that was my issue previously with dry hair. And this is one of the most important things. Get 32-inch braids or shorter. If you go longer, you're gonna cry with how long you're gonna have to braid that hair. And it's gonna be super, super long. Like you saw in the first part of the video, you saw how long that hair was, and I used 32 braids. Use at your own discretion if you want to go longer than that. Okay, so then we're going to use the braiding gel to part our hair neatly, and then we're going to start to feed in. Now I'm just showing you how I did the back. You really can't see exactly how I did the braid, so I'm just going to speed up this part and we're going to get to the front so that you can actually see the technique. But I know a lot of people just want to see how the back of the braid looks, how my hand position is, but look how full the hair is. Oh my god, I was kind of intimidated by how curly and big it is, but this is how you want the braids to look, because once it's wet, my goodness, this is how full you want your braids. Like, look how neat those braids are. I thought I was doing them super small, but they kind of look medium sized to me. And girl, this took me 12 hours. I'm not even playing with you. You have to be patient with these braids. You have to just take a whole day, because listen, the girls charge $800 to $1,000 for this style, so you can take 12 hours out of your day to just do it yourself if you can. So I want you to watch my technique of how I am braiding. So we braid in our feet in the first piece of braiding hair, then we go in with the second. Do you see how small those are? That is very important for the weight of the braid. Now we're gonna go in with the curly piece, and I grab that and then put it in my comb and start braiding down. So I put in curly pieces about every 1.5 inch of braid, and this is what's gonna give me my fullness. I think I use about 10 pieces of curly hair per braid. Sometimes I use more, sometimes not as much. It just depends on the fullness you want, but I would say use 8 the least of pieces if you want it as full as mine, or if you want it bigger, then obviously you're gonna go with way more. But I think I use generally about 10 pieces per braid. And you realize I didn't use any more braiding hair, because if you use any more braiding hair, the hair is gonna be so heavy. The hair is lightweight when you use just mostly the human hair, and you can put it in a bun, you can wear it in a ponytail, because once you wet it, it's gonna be even lighter. So only 2 small pieces of braiding hair, and then I'm gonna go in and start clipping. I use nail glue to lock the end, so I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna show you repeatedly how I do this. So first I braid my hair about 3 times, and then I'm gonna go in with the curly piece of hair. Now sometimes I braid it in, sometimes I just put it in the comb depending on where the placement is. If it's at the very top, sometimes I just braid it one time and then I go in with a small piece of braiding hair and start braiding down. Sometimes I have a hard time explaining these things, but please watch the video closely. I didn't speed it up, so you can slow it down if you need to see it some more. Look at my hand placement. And then I have a short piece of hair here, so I know I need my second piece of braiding hair for this part of my hair. And then we're gonna start braiding down some, and then we're gonna add another piece of curly hair. So remember, it's about 1.5 inches before I add another piece. Sometimes I go crazy with the curly pieces, sometimes I use less, just depending on how the braid is looking. Like if I feel like, ooh, my last braid needed some more, so I'd add some to my next braid type of thing. And another thing to note is use that braiding gel when you want to blend your hair and the actual braiding hair into the braid, because especially since my hair is now blunt cut, the ends will stick out, so I need to put that braiding hair on my hair. So every time you see me like rub down on the braid, that is just me putting a little bit of the gel onto the hair. Now it has been 1.5 weeks since my hair has been done, and I'm doing this voiceover and I'm not seeing any white flaking on my hair. So for my low porosity girlies, this braiding gel is the one. You know, I've always had problems with that, but this braiding gel was lightweight. I didn't use a lot, solely on the purpose I didn't want it to white up my hair, especially since I'd be doing a lot of beachy vacations. Yeah, it is great for my low porosity. Now when we get to the end, right, you're gonna take a piece of the braiding hair and knot it. My camera isn't focusing too well, but knot it at least 3 times. Sometimes I knot 2 times depending how skinny the braid is, sometimes 3 times. So once we get that knot and it's nice and small, go in with a nail glue. Not too much, because it's gonna look white if you use too much, girl. Just dab it on there. If you have a blow dryer, use a blow dryer, or you can just blow on it to make sure that it's dry. Then you cut off the pieces of the braiding hair. I know it looks frightening because it's like, ooh, chef, isn't it gonna look blunt? No, because you braid down most of the braiding hair, and then once you cut it and you wet the hair, the curly piece is gonna hide the end of that braid. And this is what the hair is looking like from the side. So I'm gonna repeat the step a couple more times, and I just want you guys to focus on finger placements and all of that good stuff. Now once I get to the front, I'm trying to decide how I want the curly piece to go in. So I want to show you a trial and error. So I braided my hair about twice, and then I put the curly piece in, and then I started braiding. Now once I lift the curly piece off to the side, I'm realizing, ooh, it's a little bit too far from the root. You guys know, like when you do like a half up, half down with your curly hair, you want the curly piece to be directly in the front. So what I did is just grip the hair once and then put the curly piece in and braid it 1 time so that we make sure that it's secure. Then we put it into our hair clip up top and then start braiding again and put in our braiding extension piece, and then we start braiding down again, and then we put in our next piece of braiding hair and then braid down. So I just wanted to show you that trial and error, how you have to do the front a little bit different if you want the curly piece to fall directly at the root of your hair. I'm going to show you again on the other side, but just pay attention to my finger placements, how I'm gripping the curly piece to add it in, because it took me years. If y'all have been watching this channel for the last 8 years, you've known that I was not the best braider. I tried to do every single different variation of a style except for braiding, and to know that I can actually feed in now, my goodness, saving coins, saving the girls coins, because y'all know I'm here to save you $1,000, because they be charging $700 to $1,000 for this style. So I'm gonna save you some coins. All you have to do is buy the human hair, and you can reuse it again and again and just do your own hair. Just save a day for you styling your hair and you should be fine. Take your time. This took me, like I said before, 12 hours. I didn't even use a full pack of braiding hair because we only use small pieces, and this is the key to keep the hair light. I can't say that enough times. In order for this hair to be light, because it's a lot of curly hair, you gotta use less braiding hair. Matter of fact, if my hair was longer, I probably wouldn't have used any braiding hair. So the braiding hair is mostly for the girls with shorter hair, but if you have longer hair, I would say just use the curly pieces. Now for this part, I'm just measuring where I want my braid to stop just to make sure that it aligns with the other side. And then I knot it, use our nail glue, and then cut off the braiding hair ends. Make sure you're leaving the curly hair on. I don't want y'all to mistake me cutting the braiding hair for the curly hair. It's just the braiding hair. And this is our final look after 12 long hours. Do you see how full that hair is? Someone asked me if I did sew in the back. I'm like, girl, no, this is all knotless. All knotless. Like, look how full this is. This is one of the best braiding styles I have ever done. And I was gonna be worried about how full it was, but girl, once you got that thing wet, it was so good. And I'm like, oh my god, I can get it in a ponytail without struggle. Like, are you kidding me? So now it is time to define the curls, and this is the most important part because this is where you're gonna take out all the loose hair that's gonna be, like, you know, that was in the hair when you were braiding. And girl, let me tell you something. At first I was using this little spray bottle and I'm like, this is gonna be taking too long. So what I did was I went into the bathroom and kind of dunked the whole hair in some water. I did not use hot water for this. I know some people like to use hot water, but I feel like with hot water it kind of dries out the hair, and also it ruins the curl pattern, especially when it's really hot water. So you can use warm water if you want to, because that's what I did. I used like a little bit warmer than lukewarm, and then I go in with some mousse, and the definition of this hair was stunning. Use mousse and water. If you have a lightweight leave-in conditioner, use that. And once the hair is fully dried, I go in with some oil sheen to spray on it to give it the sheen, the professional look. Like, I think the oil sheen is necessary. Look how full she is. Do you see the body on that thing? Do you see the body on that thing? I went to Punta Cana for vacation and there was no loose hair. Did you hear what I said? There was no loose hair falling out of my braids because of the technique. The technique, the hair stayed in. It was full. It was easily detangled. Like, watch that vlog and see how the hair is doing. Matter of fact, check out my Instagram and you'll see that it's the same hair that I'll be wearing for the next like 2 weeks of different trips and just life. And look how curly and full she is. I'm obsessed. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All the details for this hair will be in the description box down below. And I love y'all so much for watching. Go and big up on yourself. Bye guys.